It was on the night of 31st March 1987. I was not sure if it was a dream, a vision, or just an imagination. I felt I saw a lady-like figure, all in white, extending her hand and calling me and saying, "Follow me." I am sure it was our Blessed Mother. And that is the beginning of my vocation to religious life. Now I feel happy to share my vocational journey. I am Sister Sabina Almeida from Shelly, South Goa. I belong to the Institute of the Daughters of Mary Help of Christians, known as the Salesian Sisters of Don Bosco. I grew up in a small village, Shelly, South Goa, with my parents and 4 siblings, 2 sisters and 2 brothers. My father worked in Mormugaon Port Trust and at weekends used to come home. My mother, a caring and loving homemaker, managed our bakery business and the house chores too. I was very attached to my parents. My grandmother too played an important role in my life. There was a spirit of prayer and devotion in the family. We prayed the family rosary every night on our knees. Sometimes on Wednesdays, my mom would add the rosary to Saint Joseph, and on Fridays, the rosary to the Sacred Heart. In the family, we grew up in an atmosphere of great love and respect. At the age of 5, I was admitted to the parish co-ed school. At the same time, I did not neglect helping in the family chores, especially in our bakery. As a teenager, I liked to dress up neatly and somewhat fashionably too. I involved myself in parish activities. The Carmelite priest who was in our chapel noticed that I had leadership qualities and asked me to come on Sundays to teach catechism. I accepted with delight. I was also an active member of the Legion of Mary group with a responsible job of a secretary for 8 long years. I was a reserved person and had few good friends. I loved to watch films, read novels, and listen to music. I enjoyed my school days and then joined the junior college with the intention of doing some diploma courses like the other girls of my age. I never thought of my future, nor did I ever think of becoming a nun. The Carmelite fathers, who have a formation house, are also chaplains in Our Lady of Fatima Chapel. They are always present with the children and youth and make us get involved in all the activities. One priest always encouraged me to join the Carmelite sisters or asked me to be one of the pioneers in the local congregation of the Pilar Sisters begun in 1988. I just smiled and evaded him. Every time I met him, he would say that I would become a nun one day. I used to say, "A nun? Never." At that time, I did not realize that I would be proved wrong. One day in college, I spoke to a priest friend. I told him how my mind was working regarding my future, and he handed me a prayer book with a prayer to do God's will. I did not miss praying this prayer after communion, as I used to go daily for Mass with my mother. I had a great devotion to Mary, our Blessed Mother, and entrusted all my decisions into her maternal hands. After completing my higher secondary education, I wanted to do some short courses like typing, telephone operator, and shorthand. My friend and I got admission for the same. The course was supposed to begin on the 1st of April, but on the night of 31st March 1987. I don't remember whether it was a dream or a vision or just my imagination. I felt I saw a lady-like figure, all in white, extending her hand and calling me and saying, "Follow me." I just got up with a start, and the scene disappeared. The next morning, I was supposed to go for the course, but I didn't go. The dream kept haunting me. My mother asked me why I wasn't going, because my friend had already begun the course. I hesitated to tell her what had happened the previous night. As the days passed by, I realized that there was no more confusion in my mind. I had decided to become a sister. I went to my mother and said, I want to join the convent. A bombshell. She just looked at me without a word. She told my father and went immediately to meet the Carmelite fathers and returned with two priests. She made me sit with them and talk to them. But since I had made my decision, neither of them questioned me or tried to dissuade me. My parents were not very happy to let me go because I was quite attached to the family and my sister was just married. The other siblings were young and we had to run the family business. But soon my joy knew no bounds because they allowed me to follow God's will. They said, if it is God's will, we shall not come in your way. But they put one condition before me, that I stay at home for 1 year and pray and make a proper decision. I did as they suggested and prayed. The Carmelite fathers who were in my place suggested that since I love children, the Salesian order would suit me best. But I did not know anything about them, neither had I heard about them. The Carmelite priests themselves made the necessary arrangements and contacted the Salesian sisters from Mangalore. They came to visit me with books of Don Bosco and Saint Mary Mazzarello. On 6th July 1988, the centenary of Don Bosco, I left home to join the convent. As I entered the convent of St. Joseph Training Center, Lonavala, I felt I had made the right choice. The sisters made me feel at home at once. As this was my first experience out of home, I felt homesick, and it took me some time to adjust to the religious life. During the spiritual talks, good nights, and conferences, my mind would flash back to the dream I had, and I would say to myself that it was Our Lady who brought me to this house. My formation years helped me to cherish my religious vocation and to understand the meaning and demands of religious life. Life wasn't easy, but I was convinced that Jesus had chosen me and Mother Mary had called me. I knew that they were there to accompany me and lead me on. Today, I am a happy Salesian sister and serve in the community of Karansalem, Goa. As I look back at my past 30 years of religious life, all I can say is that there is nothing more beautiful than falling in love with Jesus and Mary.